Just be out here like I be sweating like somebody daddy.
My mind seem to take a step out, get some air now, let your edge out to some ice.
Hello, Whisper Sisters. I'm going to show you how I got this look. What do I do for my foundation base in my underpainting? Make sure you stick around, likes, comment, thumbs up this video, and I'll see you on the other side. So first of all, forget my bow, okay? My edges is not laid, and I don't lay my edges until after I do my makeup, which I feel like probably is not the best way, but who gonna check me, boo? So the first thing I like to do when I'm doing my makeup is I do a little bit of skincare. I don't go crazy, but I do a little bit of something because I like for my face to be hydrated. If your face is hydrated, then your makeup will last longer. And I had to learn it the hard way. Like I'm using Laneige's Cream Skin Serapeptide Toner and Moisturizer. I got this from Sephora, but this is the first time I've ever had a toner that is so creamy and like feels like you don't need nothing else. Feels real good like this. That's all I'm going to be using for today. But if I was really having a really dehydrated moment, I would use that, and I would use like another oil or something. But I feel confident today. I'm going to be taking One Size Secure to Sweat Primer. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know I always say that I'm not a primer girly, right? I don't use primer, I use skincare. But I have found that when I do use a primer, my makeup lasts a little bit longer and it doesn't break down in certain areas. Like under my eyes and in my nose area is where I have the most trouble. The One Sweat is you put it on your hand and then you're supposed to mix it up to like activate it and then put it on your skin. I have really been loving this. Like she is my go-to when I do primer because I am a sweater. I sweat bad on top of it. I don't typically do full makeup all the time. I usually do a simple beat. I usually do simple makeup. I usually only use concealer sometimes. But if I'm doing a full look, I do a little bit of underpainting. Not a lot, because underpainting can get tricky real quick if you are, for lack of a better phrase, reckless or heavy-handed. And I can be heavy-handed sometimes. But you can see I wear glasses daily, every single day, because I'm blind as a bat. And you can see the nose marks, and you can see that I have some discoloration under my eyes that looks a little bit darker. And so I just take my skin color and put it under the eyes, and then I'm just gonna blend that out. And the key to a good underpaint is to, like you would do your concealer, you have to not do a whole bunch of swiping because you're moving around the product. You want to stay in one place. And my glasses marks are stubborn. They do not want to leave. My glasses marks, they don't move. You could even just, if you had to really pop outside for a second, you could really just go out like this, but we're doing a full face. I'm going to be using Forever Glow Star Filter Dior's foundation. I'm using Morphe's E44 brush. I'm just going to go over my skin. Again, same premise applies when you are doing your foundation. You want to stick in the same spots. You don't want to really be moving it around so much because you're not going to get the results you want. There's going to be a little too sheer, and I had to learn that the hard way too. Like if I'm doing too much moving, too much blending out, it's going to get too sheer where you can't tell I have it on, or it's going to look patchy at the end of the night. Make sure you get under that neck, girl. You don't want to be looking like, I ain't gonna say what I want to say. Like, even though it's sheer, it's really good coverage. I don't feel like I see enough people talking about the coverage on this. Unpopular opinion, working on makeups that are still wet, to me, my process, like when it's still a little too wet, it kind of gets a little murky. So I like to just a couple minutes in between each layer. I like to take a minute. We already know I'm Fenty down. I love Fenty. This is one of the Pro Concealers in 370. So I go into the inner to my nose. Now, I do not contour my nose. I like my nose, but I do like to give myself a highlight in the center of my face. So I'll start here, and I go on the center of my nose, and then I go on the other side, and I do the same thing. Now, here's where you need to add product, because when you start to blend this out, it does get thin. It gets real sheer as you blend it out. So you do need to add the product. Don't be shy to the product. Even if you have to go in and add more, do that. I'm gonna go ahead and use my IT Cosmetics brush, the concealer side of the dual brush. I like to use a little bit of Morphe setting spray. This is the luminous setting spray, and spray my brush. So it just gives me a little bit more wiggle room when this starts to dry down, because Fenty does dry down a little bit faster than everybody else. So I like to just give my brush a little, so it'll be movable. Now, with that being said, I don't know why I'm out of breath. You do not have to use, you don't have to go and buy product. I've already had this. When this bottle gets empty, I'm going to fill it up with water, because I just need a little bit of dampness. I don't really need the setting power effect. I just need my brush to be wet. So I'm gonna go in and just start. And like I said before, you don't want to do too much dragging with your concealer. You want to stay in one spot. My face is long. I have an oval shaped face, so my goal is always to bring my face up, like snatch it, because I don't have no cheekbones to roll. Go ahead and connect it in the middle, but again, be very cautious that you're not spreading out your product too much, that you're just staying in one space. And you have to trust the process on this. I was one of those girlies in the beginning where I just blend until it's barely nothing in there, because I get worried about what it's looking like before it's done. But you gotta trust the process. And I'm gonna spread my brush to do the other side. I like to get under the corner of my nose. I like to go back with my foundation brush. I don't put any new product on. I just blend out the edges of the concealer that I did, so it looks a little bit more airbrushed. I'm smashed, honey. Now, for my beads, it depends on who I am that day. I can either use a pink powder. This is the one size pink, ultra pink. Or I could use like a more, well, this is kind of rose colored too. I was gonna say this is more of an oak color, but it's not, it's rose. So we're just gonna use the Laura Mercier powder. So that same concealer brush that I use to blend out my concealer, I'm gonna go into the powder, and then I like to tap the excess off, and then I press. And this is just setting it so you don't get any creasing. I still, I'm gonna be honest, I still get creasing in this area. It's just it's just natural. But ooh, you can see how that's blurring, honey. That is blurring. So what I like to do now is I like to just take my powder puff and press that in. I don't know if this really does anything, but I like to do it anyway. It makes me feel good. That's why I do it. I'm gonna take my IT Cosmetic brush. This is the Heavenly Luxe in number 18. It's a flat brush for concealer or contour. And then I'm gonna take Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Bronzer in the color Deep Tan. And I'm going to use that. Now, I just got into, you see, I'm just going in like this. I just got into cream bronzer, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm obsessed. I use it now as a base for my powder bronzer. It just makes so much more sense now. So I remember I said I don't have any cheekbones, so not that I create cheekbones, because I'm not that good at makeup, but I do try to do a little something. So right where my concealer meets, I'm gonna take this brush and go under. Like that. And I go up top too with the excess, bring it around, and a little dip. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. And this is one of those things where you have to trust the process. And then I'm going to take another concealer brush from IT Cosmetics This is this is Super Shadow and Liner Brush, but I don't use this. I'm going to use this for my concealer. I mean my contour. And then I'm going to go to my nose, and then I'm going to connect it here. Again, remember I said I don't contour because I like my nose. I don't have an issue with my nose. But this is just to bring my face together. I do like a smaller bridge up at the top, but as far as my nose goes, like I leave it. And then I'm just going to blend up. And this is a little bit, this contour is cool, but I don't worry about that now because the product that I'm going to put on top of it is warm. It's giving a little Tim Burton, but don't worry, we're going to come back from this. And that brush that I initially, not that brush, the pad that I initially started with, I just go over it again. And I don't know if it actually helps, but it makes me feel like it's helping. I'm kind of just pressing it in. You see? Okay, so we have the bones of our look already, and this is a no lash look because I don't wear I have been stepping back from lashes. I do wear lashes, but I've been stepping back from them just because I don't know. I just kind of like, if I'm doing a full glam, I will do lashes, but I just have not been in the mood. So we're gonna keep it true to what I've been doing every day, or what I do mostly when I go out. All right, so now that we have that, we're gonna take our tried and true, honey, Fenty Beauty's Mocha Mami. I'm gonna open it up, and I'm gonna take an all over brush like this. Get in there. I'm surprised I haven't hit pan on this yet. And then I'm just gonna go over where we set that powdered contour. And you see how it's already getting warm? Like, I didn't have to, you don't have to worry about it. If you're using a cool base, as long as the powder that you're going over top of it is warm, you don't really have nothing to worry about. And don't season your face till the gods tell you to stop, okay? Now we're gonna move on to blush. I have been loving a pinky blush that matches a pinky lip. So I've been using Rare Beauty in the color Joy. Selena Gomez, that little girl that be crying. And it is liquid, so you should start small because it could get real murky real quick around these parts. And I just take this is a foundation brush that I use to blend this out. And I just do a lot of tapping at the top until it's blended out. And you see, that's a really pretty color already. And if you want more, you just add more, but you gotta be careful because it can get real sticky. I just feel like a pink blush gives such a youthful appearance. Like oh, I've been pinched by the love bug or something. I don't know, it's just so feminine. I think it's so pretty. I'm going to go back in with that Mocha Mami and a shader brush, and I'm gonna hit my eyes again. I'm gonna go where I was at with my eyes and just blend that out a little bit more. Out. Now, y'all finna be real mad at me, but I do not draw in my brows. I don't. I'm sorry. I do not draw in my brows. I gel them down because I just feel like my brows are already so thick. I'm sure that I could find a product that didn't do too much, but I just don't feel it necessary. And I just got my eyebrows done, so I don't conceal them. I just gel them into place. And I'm not gonna hold you, I never really learned how to do my eyebrows, so this is the best that I got. I am a liquid liner girly. If you didn't know this about me, now you know. So what I do is I just go over the eye to make the lashes that I do have seem or appear thicker. See, that already makes the lashes look a little thicker. I'm just gonna do the other side. And then that's all. And like I said before, I have small eyes, so the majority of the time I do not take a black liner and go on my lower lash line because it closes my eyes. If I were to do that, I would only do about half of the eye, but I'm not doing that today. For my mascara, we are using Essence Lash Princess. I got this from Ulta. At the base and work my way up. I like to take a white liner. Again, my eyes are small, so I like to do what I can to open them up and give myself more of a, not a doe eye appearance because that's just not my look, but like just a little pop opening, you know? And this is NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk. And this is a really versatile pencil because if you need an eyeshadow base, you can use that as that too. If you know me, to know me is to know. I'm gonna use a brown liner every time. That's just my go-to, my favorite. What I've been doing lately is, I think I said this in my last video, I've noticed that the makeup girlies are outlining their lips. They're not lining it, like filling and lining in their lips, they're outlining their lips, if that makes any sense. So their natural line of their lip, they're going over top of that. I like pink lipstick. I don't feel like you can go wrong with a pink lipstick. This is the color Still Crazy. This is a ColourPop lipstick. I got it a while ago. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if it's still available. I need to start trying to look for a dupe if it's not available because this is my favorite pink lipstick. And I just go in the center. I go back with the liner and go back out on the outer corners of that lipstick. Just to keep it defined. Then I'm going to take a pink lip gloss. This is Strawberry Cheesecake Butter Gloss by NYX. NYX hands down has the best liquid lipsticks. Like, they have the best liquid lip glosses and the best matte liquid lipsticks. You cannot convince me otherwise. Like, watch how pretty this is. And that is it eats down. The makeup eats down. I hope you learned something out of this. This is like my go-to makeup routine. I am not an expert. This is just what I enjoy to do to my face when I'm doing like a full beat. This is not the fullest beat I've ever done, but this is typically what I do when I know I'm going out. Make sure you thumbs this up, like, and subscribe. I love you. I'll see you later, Whisper Sister. Bye.